Oh shit, it's him again. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Mr. Mark David Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration up higher. And my sole intention is to reconcile all paradox with love and truth. And I love you. Ooh, ooh. It's different. It's different. Happy Tuesday. It's good to see your beautiful face. Today's episode of Mars Day with Mark. I don't know where to start because I left my notes at the house. But luckily, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So sit back, relax. I'm about to walk you through the metaphysical weather forecast. Usually I'm sitting down. I felt the need to get more active, dramatic, Leo Mercury machine vibes. Time to go hard. Somebody count how many kicks I do in this video. But this is the chart. Get excited. Here is the transits that I'm filming this under. Uranus on the descendant. Sheesh. Venus on the midheaven. Sheesh. Okay, so look, yo. Pluto in the third. Sheesh. Okay. So if you guys don't know my style, if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's great to see your face, family. I'm about to rattle off the degrees, and then I'm about to just take you back layer by layer on what this shit means. And I'll run you through the week ahead. This is July 18th through July 25th. Tuesday to Tuesday. This is episode 7, numero 6. Mars Day with Mark. Oh yeah, baby. We're in for a good time. So today, this beautiful Tuesday, the sun is at 25 Cancer. I want to give a big shout out to my Cancer family. Everybody born under the cardinal water stars. Even if you aren't born under the cardinal water stars, man, you got Cancer in the chart. And if you disagree, I'm gonna beat your ass. Because I'm tired of people telling me, oh, I don't have Cancer, I don't have Virgo, I don't have Aquarius. Like, bitch, look between Gemini and Leo and you're gonna find the goddamn Cancer constellation. It never goes anywhere. Like, for fuck, let me chill out. Okay, so basically the sun highlights a different zodiac sign every month. And that's the spotlight and the theme. And regardless if your sun or planets are in that constellation, just gotta understand that that's the theme of your life for the month. So Cancer's been about the inner world. It's been about our feelings. It's been about our emotions. And man, here I am in front of the water, just being all pensive and just really pondering. Like, I don't think y'all be yearning as hard as I do, bro. But in about 5 days, we're gonna be going into the Leo sun atmosphere. And the sun is home in Leo, man. So in about 5 days, in the middle of this week, we're going through the change. This is the fixed part of the summer. Oh man, fixed fire. This is really about the sun being as bright as fuck and hot as possible if you happen to be in the northern part of the world, that hemisphere, you know? So we love to see it. We love to be it. Leo is really all about fun. It's all about expressing yourself. We're literally shifting from water to fire. So the frequency is raising. Oh yeah, get excited. Oh yeah, get excited, man. Dude, I am feeling myself, bro. Today, the moon is in Leo. By the time you see it, it may still be here. It might be in Virgo or some other sign. But what's crazy is the moon is at 7 Leo. My sun is at 6 Leo every day. And I've been feeling myself. Yeah. And that's good because I've been feeling hella emotional during Cancer season. Tired, exhausted. And then I got sick this last week. So I was out for a couple of days. And I finally got to get off the catatonia and do some work. Catch up on a chart reading. I'm about to send the rest of them through. Feels great. I'm feeling myself, man. It's a good day to just be yourself and to have fun and create something. And therefore, here I am, man. So Mercury today is in Leo at 14 degrees. Venus is at 28. She's not really going anywhere. Mars is in Virgo at 5 degrees. Jupiter in Taurus at 12. Saturn in Pisces at 6. Retrograde. We've got Uranus at 22 Taurus, Neptune at 27 Pisces, going retrograde as well. And then we've got Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, also going retrograde. And what's even crazier, apart from Chiron in Aries at 19 and Lilith in Leo at 21, what's even crazier, guys, is the nodal axis shift that just happened. Crazy. The nodal axis, the north node and the south node, which always move in opposition, they change signs once every 18 months. And as of yesterday, they finally switched from Taurus Scorpio to Libra Aries. Oh goodness. And I said that backwards. Aries Libra. Aries north node, Libra south node. So what this means is karmic shifts. Time is bending. Time is a fluid. It's a substance that bends to the will of perception. Oh yes, indeed. Oh yes, please. So what the fuck does this mean, guys? This is an interesting time to be alive because we've been going through the end of cycles and the beginning of them simultaneously on month-to-month levels, but also bi-yearly levels. So yesterday, we had our new moon in Cancer, and that's the new beginning. That's a new cycle entirely, a new heart. And I dropped a video yesterday about one of my journeys interacting with the spirit of the new moon, and I just want to say, if you don't want to watch it, which you should watch it, the most important message I got from the spirit of the moon herself was just that your heart is an altar, and an altar is a surface that spans dimensions. So it's imperative that you bring your blessings up to the heart so that you can bless the rest of the universe. Oh yes. So bring your blessings to your heart. That's where we start. But also, those nodes shifted signs. And really, the North Node in Aries is all about focusing on your damn self, being consistent when it comes to your purpose, your passions, your determination to succeed. This also means being willing to act on impulse and go after all that you feel is divinely destined for you. And I will just say that Chiron and the North Node are co-present already. But as we go through this next 18 months, you're going to see a conjunction of Chiron and the North Node. And what that's going to mean is an acceleration in global healing. Starting with you, bitch. Me? Me? No, yeah, you. All of us. Yeah, for real. It's going to be about bringing a deeper level of awareness into being through yourself, and therefore grabbing more accountability, taking more responsibility for your energy, realizing that you're a lot bigger than you thought you were, man. No offense. Like, it's a lot of energy you have. You are the universe, right? So the fuck does that mean? You are really all that exists. Isn't it weird that your consciousness is the only one you're gonna perceive in your entire life? It might not be that weird to y'all, but like, that shit leaves me flabbergasted, dumbfounded and shit. So we're gonna talk about the sun a little bit, because it's time to shine. The sun is about to go home. And what's even crazier about that is that we already have a shit ton of planets in Leo. Like I mentioned, Mercury's already in Leo, Venus is already in Leo, Mars just moved out and went to Virgo, and now the sun is gonna move in. Black Moon Lilith has been in there. So I could break it down, and I literally will, guys. This is gonna say that the archetype of Leo is about the self. It's about shining and creating from the center of your being. This talks about fun. It talks about life itself, expression, creativity. Oh yeah, joy, fun, all the good shit. Yeah. Leo is literally the best sign. And debate me. Facts don't care about your feelings. And that's the most Leo Mercury shit I could say, for real. So to substantiate what I'm saying, guys, is if the sun rules the sign of Leo, any planet that falls under the sign of Leo is going to be amplified by the life-giving powers of the sun itself. Meaning that the function of whatever planet is transiting Leo is generally going to be more enthusiastic. It's going to be more vibrant, more happy, and more self-referential and creative, which is generally a pretty good thing, but this can offer a spectrum of possibilities and new challenges. So let's get it. Yeah, I was going to say, like, hey, it could be like that, but it could also be like that. And then Let's just break it down layer by layer. So the first thing, Mercury is in Leo, 14 degrees. And it's going to be in Leo all week. Mercury is going to be just transiting through the Leo constellation. Leo is great. Mercury moves fast. So it's going to zoom through, man. And it's going to end up in Virgo sometime next week. But for the next 7 days, we got Mercury in Leo. And Mercury in Leo is about speaking with confidence and speaking with pride. And that's beautiful. That's fun. There is a comprehensiveness to the way that information is being conveyed and exchanged. That's great. The details matter. That's beautiful. But what's also really interesting is that with Leo Mercury, all information has to relate back to the self to be ingested or correlated. So try not to be too rigid, too inflexible, or too resistant to new ideas, because if you think you got it all figured out, you may find in some embarrassing way that you actually don't, and that would really suck. So just remember, Aquarius is opposite Leo. While it feels good to indulge in the character, and you are the main character, and it's nice to be on stage and get praise for the role you're playing, you got to remember, y'all, that it's really not all about you. Ah, damn. Are you serious? That's the gift of Aquarius energy, is realizing that you can actually create something good for everybody. And you'd be far more likely to get the support and the praise and the recognition of other people if you include them in your journey. Real joy, real substance, real success comes from a concern for the all, not showing your ass. All right? And I've said this before under different transits, but let me say it again, man. It's like Leo is the will. It's about your intentions, man. And if your intentions aren't aligned with the divine, why would anybody in their right mind want to fucking support you? Think about it, man. Everything is energy, so your energy affects me and vice versa. And what you do to yourself, you do to me and everybody. So it's like, if you're only looking out for you and yourself, me, my praise, my recognition, my support, my security, my success, and if you're only doing those things, and you're not really concerned for the well-being, the safety, the security of other people, or maybe if your actions are detrimental to others in the pursuit of your success, man, that's not success. And then second of all, that's detrimental, and that's gonna harm you inadvertently. So it's like, the best way to succeed is to look out for other people and provide and serve from a place of self-centeredness, from a place of security and stability. And there must be a balance between giving and receiving, truly, because if you don't receive as much as you give, you are going to sustain a deficit, which is a counterintuitive way of saying you're going to bleed your ass dry, for real, if you don't learn to put yourself first. Consider that there is a selfless level of selfishness, and if you can embody this, everybody will be able to get aboard, and you'll be a tremendous joy, period, for everybody who interacts with you or even gets to perceive you. Because leaders can only lead by example. So really the quality of your life becomes the quality of your message and the ministry itself. So that's something to think about, is that you have to live your best life to give your best life. And that's for real. So while Mercury in Leo is talking about talking your shit, speaking from the chest, being confident, and really just letting your voice being heard, Venus in Leo is a total love makeover. And this shit is real, guys. This is bonkers. Let me tell you that apparently none of us know shit about love, is what I'm feeling from the collective transits, is that Venus is about to go retrograde. She's starting at 28 degrees Leo this week, and she's ending at 28 degrees Leo this week, meaning she's not fucking moving at all. She's already stationed. She's like about to start spinning backwards, man. And Venus retrogrades take 40 days. And this is going to be a reset, recalibration within the way that we connect to ourselves, the way that we feel love and happiness, and the way that we connect with all others, the way we experience romance, and also how we participate within our own habits. Venus does a lot of things, man, but more specifically, I would just say this rules connection and joy. And like I mentioned earlier, Venus in the sign of Leo, arguably the best sign because it deals with our life force energy and our expression and really just how we find fun and happiness. This is very meta, guys. This is like the question above all questions for the next 40 days. I say 50 days, fuck it, because it's gonna be a while, man. And then after the Venus retrograde, we're still gonna have the post shadow, because if you think about it, guys, like, let's say the planets are direct and then Venus stops and then she goes backwards based on that optical illusion. Once she's done going backwards, she has to make up all that lost ground that she did while we were still moving through, and then she appeared to be moving backwards. You feel me? So Spirit said, yeah, no, 60 days. For about like 60 days, man, we're going to be going through a love reset and a recalibration. And really the question above all questions is, are you okay with you? Isn't it weird, like I said, that you're the only consciousness you're going to experience? And some people like to take this deeper and think about the soul and, damn, where do we go after we die? How do we even get here in the first place? Is there life before or after death? Probably. And that's a long time, man. A lot of schools of thought, a lot of cosmologies consider that life is eternal. That's a long time to be with you. So I just encourage you to get comfortable with your damn self, man, because you're the common denominator out of every experience in relationship that you'll ever have. Truly. And Venus and Leo is all about self-love. It's all about loving your damn self, man. Appreciating what you bring into being. Having fun. This sounds a little redundant, but I'm going to say it anyway, man. If I were to explain Leo Venus deeper than self-love, it's the love of love. It's the love of fun. The love of joy. The power of indulgence. Like, man, this shit is good. If I could inject Leo Venus into my veins, I probably would, man. Spirit said, bro, just talk your shit. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to this Leo Venus. Leo Venus is a need to be appreciated, a need to be celebrated, and even to feel like you're special. And I'm just seeing that cycles are literally closing in everybody's personal life, and they're being restarted because we're called to step up our ways of appreciating ourselves. Step up the value that you place upon yourself. Because you literally did all this shit, right? Yeah, it's important to remember we are a world. There's multiple people. It takes a village, etc. But dude, you got to remember all those little micro choices and decisions you make and all those actions that you didn't have to take that you did that shaped and molded the person that you are. Give yourself credit for who you choose to be every single day, because nobody forces you to make the choices that you do. So if you aren't seeing that and recognizing it, you may kind of feel underappreciated this time. Hey, man, and when we get into Mars, these kind of go back and forth. These are the lover planets. It's really important that you work harder on positivity than ever before right now, because while Venus and Leo is fun and it's the love of self and it brings a spark and a joy into damn near everything we indulge in, Mars in Virgo is fucking vicious, y'all. And I just want to tell you that we have some really interesting aspects this week. So I want to kind of cover the Mars and then the Jupiter and then the Saturn, and then we'll talk about these aspects really quick and break them down. So Venus and Leo for the next hellas is going to be about working on your character and really loving and appreciating yourself. And if you are in a relationship with other people or a person or something of that nature, it's going to be really important that you make sure that you are not neglecting your own needs within them. And also step up the love that you have for other people, but do it honest, do it from the heart, appreciate them genuinely through your values. This says be honest, man. Try practicing telling people what you really feel as opposed to what you think they want to hear. So Mars in Virgo can be a little bit rough, but it's also very powerful in the same time. Mars governs our energy and our will, and really the masculine expression of force. And Virgo is all about the details. It's all about being meticulous and being specific. So you'll see that the details really matter nowadays. It's the little things that either excite and satisfy or piss you the fuck off. You know, efficiency, optimization, this is the MO. And you may be getting frustrated a little bit just because things aren't going as fast as you want them to go. Slow down, for real. Slow the fuck down. Learn how to take a break when Mars is in Virgo, because with the impulse being centered on efficiency driving, optimization, and refinement, you may find yourself putting pressure on systems. And if you can't find an adequate system, that pressure is going to go on yourself, and that's not going to be healthy because it's going to warrant collapse or burnout. So it's important to know when you got to fold. Work smarter, not harder. Align before you hustle. When you're working smart, work as hard as you damn well please. But learn when to take a break when you start getting frustrated, rather than just taking it out on shit or exploding or erupting and destroying work that you're trying to build up, man. Having to sit back and increase your understanding of not a goddamn thing. That would be kind of bullshit, wouldn't it? So I got Judgment in reverse, and then there's that Mercury in reverse. And really, this kind of just feels like, while the details really matter, your judgment can be flawed if your vision is really tunneled. And that means sometimes you may need to take a step back to use your mind more dynamically at this time. If your focus is so deep and unparalleled, you may miss the forest for the trees, or you might mistake the map for the terrain type shit. So growth happens automatically if you don't interrupt it, man. And that perfectionism, that eye for details, that need to be in control or to be perfect, man, this can really interrupt growth or play a detriment to happiness. And that's not going to be a good thing, man. So this is the growth card. This is the expansion. And it's just going to say, man, like, well, that growing pain is a real thing. If you really, like, place appropriate limits and moderation on your schedule and your routine, you can actually remember limitations are meant to protect you. They're boundaries for protection. And while the attitude is expansion, expansion, more freedom, maybe consider that your responsibilities can provide you some peace. They can provide you some solace and even meaning too. Too much freedom can make you descend into chaos. And that's really something to think about. Is that it's just important that you align your energy with your priorities so you can feel proud of what the fuck you're accomplishing within your life, right? Think about it. So, Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. Man, this is abundant growth. This is expansion on an unconscious level. And this is growth on the earth, the material abundance. This is a lot of beautiful things. Increase the peace. Yes, please. So with Jupiter and Taurus, this shit is going to be a year-long transit, and I'm going to feel like a broken record the more I talk about it. I encourage you to get metaphysical about your money, because this Jupiter is co-present with Uranus. So there's huge changes going on in the material world, and it's just important that you understand that peace is really the most priceless jewel you ever possess, and you can't acquire it with money. You can only acquire it with attention and choice. So consider that you're really rich if you have the things money can't buy. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn rules restrictions, obligations, and it's also all the limitations of finite being. Saturn is the ground that you stand on and the bones that hold you together. Saturn represents the real world, the physical universe, and Saturn's in the sign of Pisces, which is the metaphysical world and the spiritual universe. So shit's getting real, y'all. It's really a time to check your beliefs and to check the sacrifices you're making, and really consider if you value the sacrifices that you make. Consider if your beliefs are congruent to your purpose. and your intentions? Are your beliefs limited in any way, shape, or form? While we inherit beliefs from circumstance and society and family, you got to keep in mind that a belief is something that you assume to be true. You consent to it or you don't. If you don't like your beliefs, you have the power to change them because you're the one who created them. So that's the most important thing to really consider when it comes to your beliefs, because if you hold yourself to standards of perfection and idealism that you really can't hit, you're doomed to fail, and you're doomed to be thrown back inside of yourself quite violently, you know, just because you won't be able to hit your standards because your standards only exist non-tangibly. So it's entirely possible, if you feel frustrated and defeated or beat down or despondent, that you might be asking way more of yourself than you're physically able to give. And what's even crazier than that is that the universe doesn't hate you for it, man. The universe isn't judging you on the same scale that you're judging yourself on. The universe gives you the ability to create beliefs so you can filter your own experience, so we can learn exponentially more things as one being, right? Things take time, man. And beliefs often operate within the unconscious. And underneath belief can even be assumption, which is more like an unconscious belief. Something you don't even know you will believe because you just assume it to be true. And I don't mean to be pedantic or get into semantics at this point, but the past be holding a lot of weight on the present right now, guys, with Saturn retro and Pisces. And a lot of people are losing hope. A lot of people are feeling like giving up. And simply put, like I said earlier, this for many is the result of not being literally able to hold up the bullshit mask that you think you are anymore. And that's good. Let it the fuck go. You know, you might have to cry. You might have to let it go. You might have to be mourning over the part of yourself that you thought you were for a minute. But remember, man, death only happens when life is unsustainable. Let's talk to that person in the back. You there, man. This ain't even your final form, bro. You growing. And we love to see it. So just remember, man, everything in life is a gift. Everything in life is a gift. Gratitude is the attitude that transcends all suffering. So you need to ask, why not me? Why not me? Rather than saying, why me? Believe me, I've been this person. Why me? Why does my life suck? Why does this hurt so bad? Why do good things happen to bad people? And why do bad things happen to good people like myself? And the problem is that we think we're good. Oh yeah, bro, I did a reading for a Chiron Taurus motherfucker today, and it's given like a synchronicity. Like, I just had this discussion today. The problem is people think they're good. The problem is people think they're bad. The problem is people kind of assume that morality is objective, and it's absolutely not. And what I mean by that, guys, is like, what's good for me could be bad for you, and what's bad for you could be good for me. And there is no net neutral or blanket morality for everybody. You're gonna have to just accept that these are vibrations, man, and it's not the end-all be-all way to live your life. So all we can do is do our best, but just remember, your life is your life, and your scale is for you. So while the universe doesn't judge you the same way that you judge yourself, it's really unfair for us to judge everybody else the same way we judge our damn selves. And what I think is crazy is that no matter what person you choose to be, this week is going to be crazy, guys, because there are so many tense aspects in the solar system. This is the most I've moved around in a video, and I hope that this is not distracting you guys too much. And if it is, oh well. Back to it, man. The first thing I want to call you guys' attention to is the sun opposite Pluto. And we talk about this aspect during the new moon. And if you see the sun up there and then Pluto down there, big ass red line in the middle of the screen, in about 4 days, the sun is going to be perfectly opposite Pluto. So this week, we've got our sun, you know, making the 180 and then waning out. So this whole week, we're going to have a lot of pressure on the self to transform. It's going to transform regardless, guys. I actually remember half a year ago while the sun was conjunct Pluto and what that energy felt like. And this feels like a revisiting. This is like that full phase since that new cycle with the sun and Pluto. So we're halfway through the cycle. And what this really means is checking the character you've developed after having a completely new one birthed or an old one demolished. And you may kind of feel like you're going through the same thing again, like forced character development. What is this card on the ground? Oh, I like this. The Two of Swords. This says there may be a blindedness and an uncertainty, but also an unshakable inner peace based on the balance that comes from the past and the future. I see a lot of good things, man. This is all moving forward. This is really business as usual. Everything's going according to plan. But I just want to say, for this Sun-Pluto aspect, don't take yourself so goddamn seriously this week, man. A lot of us identify with that hero archetype, and everybody's on a hero journey. So it's just important that you remember that you don't have to save the whole fucking world. I'm gonna repeat that shit, man. You don't have to save the whole world and every fucking hoe in every boat. You just gotta save you. Because truly, nobody's coming to save your ass. So you better work on that. And just remember that, hey, hear it from Pluto, man. When you take care of yourself, when you heal yourself, you heal the whole fucking world, because we're all connected, man. So don't be doing no dumb shit, man. We don't got no time to play Captain Save-A-Ho, especially during a Venus retrograde in Leo. No Sirski. No. You're definitely not doing that shit. This sounds like a negative message to some people, but this can be overwhelmingly positive to the ones that are in the dark night of the soul, because they've put the whole weight of the world upon their back. Hey, man, there's something inherently special about not being special. When you die, nobody's gonna remember you in about 100 years after it. Did you think about the Queen of England today? Probably fucking not. Point proven, bitch. So, hey, man, just thug it out by yourself and really just focus on your work. Enjoy your great work. The great work is supposed to be great, and it's supposed to be work. And I don't mean that to be, like, just talking out my ass, man. It's going to require a substantial amount of effort. You know? And you may want to give up on it. You may feel sick of it. If it was just good work, anybody could do it. If it was just work, most people would do it on accident. You know what I mean? So, like, no. The great work is something you have to reach within yourself to cultivate and bring into existence. And that's a beautiful thing. It actually takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of imagination, a lot of creative visualization. And it takes that feeling of, oh, fuck, there's nothing for me to give. I have been to the underworld, I'm in Pluto, but then to be like, fuck it, I'm actually gonna create. Aha, abracadabra, I am all that I am. Oh shit, the universe itself has manifested another one. Damn, hello, how cool. So that's fun and dandy. Hey guys, are you ready for another one? We have about like 4 major aspects. So another thing I wanted to say is that about 5 major aspects. So the first one, I want to say, like, Sun Pluto is another one. Sun trine Neptune is another one. This talks about a really easy way of seeing yourself as everything, transcending the limits of your ego in a pretty positive and harmonious and easy way. Realizing that you are a drop in the bucket, man, and that's actually pretty beautiful, because there's a safety that comes from being enveloped in the womb of the goddess constantly, you know? And I think this in itself is going to help us with forgiveness of self and others moving forward through this week, because the sun opposite Pluto says that there's a lot of pressure on the character to be powerful, to be in control, and something's going to have to give, man. Chances are, like I mentioned, I think a couple times now, you may be trying to play a role that's way too fucking big for your physical persona. So that's going to just say, dial back your expectations of self. It's not fair for you to expect yourself to manifest unlimited potential, which everybody does have. And if you're aware of that, that's going to be a crushing weight to put upon yourself. Don't do that. So on another note, this talks about having an obsessive and compulsive grip on your ego with that Pluto opposition. And that just means feeling threatened, feeling attacked. Why is everybody coming for me? Man, Pluto doesn't make shit easy for anybody, for real. And I just find that it evokes a lot of fear. And the fear is being judged, persecuted. Oh my goodness. And really, it's easier said than done. Let me tell you, as a Leo sun, stop giving a fuck. Why do you care about what other people think about you? What do you think about you? You understand? The only way that you can be moved by the external world and the people within it is if you're not obstinate, if you are not fully certain of who you are and what you represent. What I think is really beautiful about the ego, take it from a Leo, guys, if you love the character you're creating, the strength of your ego can be a tremendous asset, and accountability can be a way to expedite your growth and not to interrupt it. So I guess my question for you, if you're still watching, is like, how can you get to the point where you can't be humiliated? How do you get to that point? I think everybody's answer would be different, but if I were to suggest some ideas to you, I would say give yourself so much positive reinforcement, so much encouragement, so much affirmation that your value becomes unquestionable. Do things that make you respect yourself. Leo represents strength, and boy, he be getting it in. I've been in the gym, y'all, since Leo Lilith started. I just felt that if I had no way to really like move my energy around, I'd probably just putrefy. So self-love is one thing, self-respect is another. And these energies hit a lot harder from ourselves than they come from anybody else, man. And what's even crazier, let me add on to that, is that if you don't love and respect yourself, you actually won't appreciate these energies when they come from outside of you. Like, hey guys, I don't know if you saw me updating my Instagram highlights the other day, but I posted over 100, damn near 200 reviews from chart readings where people say, Mark changed my life, best astrologer, worth every penny, absolutely priceless. And guys, like, I want y'all just to follow me on a thought experiment. Imagine a person who's 24 years old, who's self-published a book, came from drug addiction, came from a broken ass heart, family issues, despondency, lack of purpose. I could go fucking on, to become a self-made success, internationally known and recognized, making a profound difference in other people's lives, being told every day that I've helped people and created miracles for them. And you know what's crazy, guys, is that doesn't feed my soul. I don't know if I've ever really explained this to anybody on the internet before, but I just want to say, guys, that that's not enough for me. It's really good to have the confirmation externally that what I'm doing is working, but here's the thing, guys. If I don't see myself, and if I don't appreciate, respect, or love myself that way, it doesn't mean a damn thing to hear from anybody else, because I've had the experience of reading those reviews and being flattered on a mental level, but emotionally not feeling that way about myself and rejecting what the fuck I'm hearing, and then feeling the need to work myself even harder. So you can't skip on that positive affirmation. You can't skip on your self-image. You can't skip on the way that you see yourself. Man, if life is unbearably hard for you, it's probably gonna have something to do with the way you live your life. And if you feel like you're spinning your wheels trying to diagnose the external problems, what's often very obvious but very overlooked is put pressure on the character. Maybe life is hard for you because of the person you're choosing to be. And this is really Sun opposite Pluto talking, you know? Rather than changing the game, change the avatar. Kind of getting into a video game analogy, some of y'all never respect your fucking character. You go through all these challenges, all these trials, tribulations, but you never reinvest the points back into your skills. Man, shit's gonna get hard because you keep leveling up, and you don't really reinvest. So it's like the journey is non-linear. You're moving forward even though you might not always see it or think it, because there's so many levels of being. So I just encourage you to get in the practice, get in the habit of celebrating your success, celebrating your wins, even as small or insignificant. Celebrate every single one. Make a habit of positively reinforcing yourself, man, because one good deed deserves another, and another one, man. And another one, man. I took the hinges and I fucking ripped the door off, and I put the hinges in the fuckboy hands. Put his hinges in his hands, man. You could put the hinges in the hands too. All right, so in addition to deep character development and taking new actions that might even scare you or require you to find your limits, surrender certain things, make other sacrifices, Sun opposite Pluto. In addition to this, guys, we got a couple more interesting aspects. You know, we have that Sun trine Neptune. That's going to be compassion and transcendence, and that's going to be good for everybody. Moderation when it comes to indulgence is another thing to keep in mind. I want to talk about Venus really quick. Venus is in Leo, 28 degrees. Pluto is at 29 Cap. And what that's going to mean is an inconjunction. And you guys have seen it a couple of times, but can you see it now? Can you see Venus and Pluto in that little green notch? Yeah, that's a 150. And this angle is so confusing, guys, because the signs that are 150 apart don't relate in element, duplicity, or modality. And that's just going to mean that there's a general confusion or an anxiety that comes from these energies. And where Pluto's concerned, there's the soul operating with max potency. And this is just going to say that control is being highlighted within our relationship dynamics. And many of us are finding that we have this unconscious possessiveness towards others, or really just an unconscious form of jealousy towards others. Or what we're finding is that some of us be hiding self-hatred really far behind the surface, and it's really secretive. So while we wouldn't really let on to other people that we have it because it'd be embarrassing to not respect ourselves, it's okay to be unenthused with who the fuck you are, man. Just don't forget that you are the creator. Because where this Capricorn energy is concerned, it's going to say that, you know, you may not feel necessarily the best with what life has dealt you or the situations in your life when it comes to people, but do remember that you have the ability to change these things. And while you can't control every single variable, surrendering to some things is going to be able to give you more clarity. Having a shit ton of options isn't always the most meaningful. Love needs truth to exist for love to grow. So if you can't be honest with yourself, it's really difficult to express your needs and get them met within the context of a relationship. And it's really hard to hit a target you're not aiming at. So if you really don't take time to get to know yourself and really think about what would bring you the most happiness, or what you want to end up possessing and what you want to have control over when it comes to your personal life, relationships can be a big cause of frustration and dissonance and conflict, for real. And man, do not be a casualty of somebody else's war against themselves. For the love of the goddess and the great spirit, do not become the casualty of another person's war that they have against their motherfucking self. It's okay to be like, bitch, these are not my monkeys, not my circus, and you go worry about that your damn self, because I am playing with this shit. Hey, let me say it this way, man. This is an intuitive thing I'm getting from Venus in conjunct Pluto. You can't negotiate if you're not willing to walk away. For real. You literally cannot negotiate if you're not willing to walk away. So remember, you hold the power when it comes to giving your love. And you got to consider that with this angle as well, you got to take care of your responsibilities and your priorities. And also, I don't like to say this one, man, but it's like, I'm just giving you guys like a couple 360s around this energy, is that I'm seeing with Venus in conjunct Pluto, is that a lot of people are really bored with their lives right now, and that's sad. And I understand this feeling, especially with Saturn being retrograde, man. I just really encourage y'all to take a break, really take some time to reconnect to your inner child, have fun again. Try to find something new and entertaining, and really stop being so goddamn serious, man, because discipline is gonna help you create self-respect by creating meaningful results. But at the same time, if you never fucking enjoy the fruits of your labor and all the bugs get to eat them, and then you never get to snack on them, man, it's like you're gonna get malnourished and sad and shit. So it's like, take that metaphor into your physical life or your mental life and really open your damn heart, man. Where Leo's concerned, it is the heart. And this says that you may not know how deep it is in there, but I encourage you to really go a little deeper. Send some love to the deepest part of your heart. I feel like there's an entertainment from so many other things that you may not necessarily know which one to pick, and the process of elimination could certainly help. Start removing shit that doesn't bring you joy. You know, happiness is an emotion, just like a lot of other frequencies, and this is going to mean that it's transient. And while we would enjoy to experience as much positive emotion as possible and mitigate the negative to its absolute lowest degree, you got to remember it's all transient, and the perspective of one will lead to the diametric opposite. And you know, you wouldn't even know happiness without pain. You wouldn't know sunshine without rain. If you had all sunshine, no rain, man, all the trees would die. So just remember the balance of life, as boring as it can be sometimes, that even the dark night of the soul, that 11 out of 10 pain that you experience sometimes that takes you out of your body, no, that shit is a gift from the universe. Remember that. Pain reminds you you're still alive. Why me, though? Bitch, why not you? You asked for strength. Universe gave you pressure. Least you could say is thanks. You know, rather than, damn, I don't know if I could keep going through this. You gotta be like, universe, thank you for keeping me through this. Some people literally didn't make it, you know, and you didn't come this far just to come this far, man. I do know a lot of people are going under hard times right now, internally, externally, wherever it happens to be, man. You just gotta remember, this too shall pass. And it's always the toughest before the breakthrough, man. The storm is always the craziest before the break, right? So just honor your limits, take it a day at a time, man, and remember to motherfucking rest. And I want to say this week is pressure. For the reasons I've already covered, we got this big ass Venus retrograde about to start. But another thing I want to tell you is that that you got let me stop. You got Mars opposite Saturn. Oh yeah, and it's peaking. Bro, somebody better give Mars some gum, because Mars is about to be peaking in this opposition with Saturn, and then it'll like wane out. But this week we got Mars opposite Saturn, and this really just feels like high tension. Oh, and high ambitions, but also self-control. It's like the ability to keep your desires in check. And this is even crazier. I don't usually talk about this, and not a lot of people do for real, but in addition to Mars opposing Saturn, we've got Vesta square Saturn. And Vesta is an asteroid. Some people don't really like to be on the roids like that, but I just want to say Vesta right here, man, she's making that T-square to Saturn and Mars. Oh yeah. And Vesta represents the sacred work. She represents the Kundalini force, and really how you devote yourself to something. Oh yeah. And when I see Vesta square Saturn, in addition to the Mars opposite Saturn, I just feel like there's so much pressure to live a meaningful life, and to be pure, and to be perfect, and to be infallible, and unfuckwithable, and to be spiritually vetted. You know what I mean? That's how I'm perceiving this energy. And especially with what we were talking about when it comes to Saturn Pisces energy, man, like, if you don't allow yourself to be human this week, you're gonna fall flat on your fucking face. So just know that ahead of time, so you don't interrupt growth the way it's supposed to happen. You got to remember that there's magic in the mundane and vice versa. And again, the universe doesn't motherfucking judge you the same way you judge yourself. This is the Saturn Pisces card on top of my deck, saying that what we have ahead of us is the impression or experience of a lot of defeat. And that's just going to be really you hitting your limits and getting stronger. So you never get defeated. You never fail if you don't give up. So just don't ever fucking give up, man. Learn how to take a break. Learn how to slow down. Learn how to really describe your great work. I want to leave y'all off on this one before I sign off, man, because I feel like this is a pretty good transitioning point for me to GTFO. It's probably the longest Mars Day with Mark. Probably the most fun one, hopefully. I've been enjoying this one. I've been coming out of my tomb into my character. That, what the fuck was I trying to say? Man, Leo Mercury is a trip sometimes. Take it from somebody with this placement that it's a lot of fun, but if you don't organize your ideas, it can be a little bit confusing for not only just yourself, but other people interacting with you too. So that's important. But I reminded myself the message. I just want to encourage you guys that, you know, if you are working on your purpose, just trying to live a good life, you can maybe take a step back from the life and ask yourself, like, what do you want your life to be about? What's the message? Hey man, if you could only really give like 1, 2, or 3 pieces of advice to like your future children, or, you know, the last person in the world who's going to repopulate it, it's like, what would you tell them? Let's say you don't get to leave anything physical behind besides your intellectual property, your experience, the meaning of your ideas, but you only have like a minute or so to explain it. Explain that shit to yourself genuinely. I'm not saying this just to be redundant. Like, try that out. And if you could reduce that to just a simple message, you'll find that every single day you're presented with a plethora of opportunities to do just that. And while you may have a physical idea of what it's going to look like and what you'd like to manifest or create or actualize, you may be thinking way ahead of yourself, man. We get lost in this physical universe and the boundaries of time. So you got to remember, time is a fluid substance that bends to your will and your perception. So take advantage of that knowing and relax. Truly fucking relax. This world ain't going anywhere, man. And if you take a break, it's not going to stop spinning. It's actually going to thrive and do what it does every day until you die and reincarnate on this bitch or another bitch. And that's legit. I love you guys from the depths of my soul, man. Take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Love yourself. If you're in debt to yourself, you can't buy a motherfucking thing, man. So Virgo Mars said, just take care of yourself. Remove interference from your health, your schedule, your peace of mind. Everything's got to go. If it costs your peace and it costs your safety, your security, your health, it's too expensive, man. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Show some love, tap in with your boy. If you got to this point in the video, leave me the word grapefruit in the comment somewhere. I tried that in the last video and I saw a lot of you were catching on, like right at the end. Put the word grapefruit in the comment. You could literally put it in the middle of the comment. You could just comment the emoji. Like, I don't really care, man. But no, I do care. Let me tell you, my Cancer Mars cares. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna sign the fuck off. It's been your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration higher. My sole intention has been to reconcile all paradox with love and truth, and I love you. And we're gonna